I was raising kids according to the environment was interesting.
That one was like jumping out.
Yeah, yeah. So raising kids according to according to their environment was interesting because you think about we've talked about it before, but uh, the level of fear that you have to instill in your children in impoverished areas to be prepared for the world ahead of them is a lot different than the kind of coddling or coddling or even just allowing someone to progressively come into their own with nonstop opportunities of nonstop opportunities of failure being possibilities, but not being able to really see failure
Yeah.
in its entirety was just interesting to me. I kind of witnessed it a bit on some, I think it was a show I was watching or something, but I just got to see a single mom um, dealing with having two sons, and both sons were like intense people to have to deal with, but that's only because of the world that they're going to be living in. They didn't understand just yet what she was doing, and you could just see it on the adult end what the preparation was like, and that it's kind of like a have to put them in their place, or you have to instill you have to have certain conversations with them every single day out of necessity because once they leave, the fear of when they leave your sight, the possibilities that they can get themselves into, and they still would get themselves into them,
Yeah.
and just hope that they're in some shape or form that they would tap into one of those talks or one of those whoopings or one of those moments where it's just like, I fear something at home a little bit more than I fear at this particular situation, or she might be right, and just the subconscious checks in and allows them not to do what their initial instinct is.
Yeah.
And it's a very layered deal because it's exactly the world that I grew up in. And I always say that the world that I grew up in my youth is there's nothing else. There's no other way to acknowledge that besides saying that there was another power in place than just the people in my initial circle being great human beings that
Absolutely.
helped me see the world differently.
Absolutely.
It's completely different than that because there's too many points and too many moments that I was in that could have went a completely different way, and too many people that I've been around whose lives did go a different way that I'm still around with the knowledge and the understanding and the awareness and the drive and the attention to detail.
Yeah.
There's just no other way to explain that part. So I just that was just an interesting topic for me.
Nah, man. I when you sent that this morning, I was for whatever reason I zeroed in on that one, and with context and you explaining it, I'm glad that it resonated as much as it did. I don't know, man, because I've been talking to the homies that are fathers, and I put an emphasis on the homies that are fathers more so, because it feels although it shouldn't, it is extremely unique to be surrounded by so many dads who are active and hands-on. Lex is here, SK is here. I spent a majority of time with Kevin Allen, Kev Choice, DJ D Sharp, Brookfield Deuce, shout out to Deal, Ivan, Basta. A lot of my creative homies in immediate circle are dads, right? And are active. And a lot of them have different perspectives on reproduction, especially right now, and what they know.
Yeah.
You know what they know now as active dads, right? And the conversation that continues to come up is the fear in and around, like how much to give, how much not to give, how much to make them earn, to how, you know, hands on, hands off suffering, and all these different little nuanced things that God bless my mother, she was figuring out on the fly. And to this day, and this, fuck, crazy enough, this leads into the one thing that I did want to talk about, empathy and addiction. I don't know any medical approaches or terms on how to deal with any of that shit, but I do know the amount of space that was afforded by my single mother, and the amount of, you know, whatever her and my dad's relationship was, she ain't never go out her way to make me feel one way or another about bruh. And you see that so many times over and over again, and vice versa, for that matter. Their relationship was their relationship, and I imagine they had all kind of horrible shit to say about each other. But that wasn't my reality. And I to this day, I don't know if there's anything that I'm more grateful for, especially having been in relationships with single moms, having access to the homies who were raised by their mother, who have horror stories about their fathers, and vice versa, the dads who would shit on the moms. Like, that shit creates a whole nother sort of set of issues you got to work through as a human, as an adult human, that fucking make it impossible. And that's not my that hasn't been my reality, right? So in this unique space that I'm in with my dad right now, I'm able to really, really see bruh, like for real, like, and what he needs from me right now. And it's unorthodox. It's different. It's asking a lot of me, but it also feels so worth it. To tap into something larger than me, and to be exactly what he needs, not what I think fuck my ego and what I think I know. I don't know shit, you know. And for whatever reason, like I wrote my sisters this fucking essay of a text message this morning, because I inside writing songs. I haven't written a word for the last 2 projects. Just writing is more channeling, right? Like now it is. And so I've had to become more cognizant of when I'm being channeled to say something. Like we talk about assertiveness and speaking up and all this shit. Like, that's something that I've worked tremendously on, and is at the forefront of my brain, of like speaking up, because my nature is to suppress and to not speak up, and that manifests in weird ways where it fucks up relationships and shit too. So it's like, let me try just speaking up, but the responsibility with speaking up comes, you gotta process a lot faster. And I wasn't a fast processor, so I was liable to say some shit really wrong or really hurtful or really mean, even especially when I'm hurt, right? Because it's a fear thing. I'm hurt, I'm scared. Let me say something crazy, you know. And so because I didn't want to do that, I wouldn't say anything. I just go quiet. Y'all call it Monty mode, and that didn't feel good either, because it alienates you in a really uncomfortable way that's not your intent, but you just don't know what to say. So, excuse me, thinking of that, it's been working on that, and trying to say shit that's on your heart and not suppress it. So I write my sisters this long ass essay, and in it is just trying to tap into a supreme level of empathy to be exactly what we're supposed to be for somebody. And it may require efforts that we didn't even know we were capable of, thresholds we didn't know we possessed. And with that too, the environments that you speak of, you're 100% right that there was something else looming over and guiding and protecting the other vessels that were there to protect us and guide us and feed us and clothe us and and all these different things. But then there would be those days when them vessels were nowhere around and you still would survive, but it would be hearkening back or tapping into information or game that they gave. I can't tell you how many times I've been in situations, bro, where my life was on the line and your dad's voice would ring so fucking loud of what to do immediately. But it would be from conversations that I was rolling my eyes at the time, because Unc getting his talking bag and you'd be like, bruh. But when you need it the most, that shit show up.
Yeah, that's right.
Same thing with grandma. Like, grandma get on her shit where she just get to talking. And you like, come on, G. And when I need it the most, that shit would pop up every fucking time.